Hey everybody, hope you had a great weekend. We are starting our world of weather back to the grind, back to the work week. If you're like me and you have kids home from school, the weekend is so extra special just to not have to deal with that schoolwork every day on top of real work and everything else you need to do. So I feel ya, and that is why we're here. Hopefully, at least my lessons take a little bit of the stress and burden off your shoulders, just giving the kids a little something extra to learn about science and weather, which of course is my passion. So each day we'll have these lessons at 1:15. Thank you for all of you who have been watching every Monday through Friday and continue to do so. These will continue through the school year. As always, I am watching here on my iPad. So if you have any questions, please let me know. But today's topic, we are learning about severe weather and specifically severe thunderstorms. We've talked about tornadoes. We've talked about microbursts. We've talked about lightning. So we've been talking about a lot of different aspects of severe weather. We've even talked about hail, but we've never really talked about specifically what makes a thunderstorm severe. So that's what we'll be talking about. Why is a thunderstorm considered severe, as to where it will have a warning associated with it, and how come sometimes we have storms that are not considered severe even though they're still pretty nasty. So that's the big question. If you know the answer, go ahead and answer. What do you think makes a thunderstorm severe? Why would one storm have a warning and another one not? What do you think? So I'm seeing we're a little bit on a 15-second delay here, so I'm going to see if anyone is answering. What do you think makes it severe? Is it a lot of lightning? Is it the winds? Is it the hail? Is it all of it? Do you have to have all of it? What do you think determines whether a severe thunderstorm is severe? Because we are in our severe weather season. We see a lot of tornadoes in Georgia through March, April, and May. At least that's when we see most of it. But in the summertime, we see a lot of thunderstorms as well. So I'm watching, checking in from Ackworth. Hey, what's up? You love thunderstorms. So everyone's watching, but everyone's a little perplexed. So there's a couple things that make a severe thunderstorm severe. And really, you only need to meet one of the criteria. You don't need all of it, but you need to meet at least one of the criteria. The first one is winds. In order for a thunderstorm to be a severe thunderstorm, it needs to have at least 58-mile-an-hour winds. So a lot of times we'll see very strong thunderstorms and they have 40-mile-an-hour winds, 45, and certainly with 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds, you can see trees down, you can see power lines down. So we can see strong thunderstorms that are not severe, and that's because they don't have winds of at least those strong winds 58 miles an hour. So that's the first criteria, winds of at least 58 miles an hour. The second criteria is hail. Again, it doesn't have to have both. So you can have a storm with strong winds and no hail. That is still severe if it has 60-mile-an-hour winds. But hail has to be an inch or bigger. So again, you could have a strong thunderstorm with half an inch hail, pea-sized hail. It's not severe. It has to have at least an inch hail or bigger in order for it to be severe. So we're talking about severe thunderstorms, watches versus warnings, what makes a thunderstorm severe, and why we tend to see them in Georgia. So let me flip this camera around, and we are talking about severe thunderstorms here in North Georgia for today's World of Weather topic. So today's World of Weather is severe weather. And I want to show you the typical setup here in North Georgia, because this is the time of year we see this a lot. We have a cold front moving through, and this is actually what we will see on Wednesday. So this is pretty textbook. You have a cold front moving in. Behind the cold front, this blue is cold air. In front of it, you have warm, moist, humid air. When you have that front, not only do you have two air masses colliding, cold air with warm, humid air, but you also have a trigger. When you have a cold front, that provides the lift you need in order to produce severe weather. On top of that, you have that humid Gulf air, and then you have that cold air behind it. And those two things together provide strong storms and possibly severe storms. Now, when we have a front moving through and we know we have this set up, there's a couple things you could see. We could see a watch, and a lot of times it can be a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch. Whenever you have a watch, it means no immediate threat. So no, we don't have anything on the ground. It just means watch for the threat of severe weather. It means you need to be alert, you need to be aware. When you have a warning, that means it is happening. Immediate threat, take action now. So with a severe thunderstorm, a watch means we're unstable enough. We have a cold front coming in. Very possibly we could see 60-mile-an-hour winds. Very possibly we could see tornadoes. Whereas a warning, a severe thunderstorm warning means severe thunderstorm is happening. We have 60-mile-an-hour winds or 1-inch hail or bigger. So it means you need to take action now. Now, severe thunderstorm, this is the criteria to have a warning. 58-mile-an-hour winds. So winds below that, it is not considered severe. Winds above that, it is severe. 1-inch hail or bigger. So again, 1 inch or less, it is not severe. 1 inch or higher, it is severe. Possible tornado. A lot of times these severe thunderstorm warnings have the indication for a possible tornado. And we will say that on the air when we're breaking in, that this particular storm has a possible tornado. Now, once a tornado is radar indicated, then it becomes a tornado warning. So radar indicated tornado, rotation on the radar, then it's a tornado warning. But before that, it is a severe thunderstorm warning because, again, a tornado is not confirmed or on the ground. So you need to be storm ready. So even before we have the warning in place, you need to make a plan. So you need to ask yourself, will my home provide a good location to take shelter? Do I live in a safe place? Do I live somewhere that if we have a warning, I will be okay? If you say no, then you need to plan ahead. Is there a neighbor or a friend or a family member that I can go to whose house is storm ready? So answer that. If the answer is no, that's when you need to find a shelter. And usually during severe weather here in Georgia, we have storm shelters that open. So you need to find the closest storm shelter to your area if you say no to those questions. If you don't have a home nearby, a friend, a relative, a neighbor that you feel safe in, you need to find a storm shelter. Remember, you want to practice social distancing. We are still social distancing here in Georgia. So you need to not only think about the severe weather threat, but you need to think about social distancing as well. If you know where you're going and it is safe and you have that plan in place and you can social distance, you are storm ready. So this is the time before the storms come that you need to make sure you and your family are storm ready. Now, this is what a severe thunderstorm will look like from an airplane. We talked about severe weather, what it means, what causes it. But the stronger the storm, the higher up it goes in the atmosphere. In fact, severe thunderstorms can be 50,000+ feet up in the air. It shows how intense it is. And this is what it looks like from an airplane. An airplane flies about 32,000 feet, depending on the airplane, but a Boeing about 32,000 feet in the air. So this is a storm going up about 50,000 feet in the air. So you can see it even up above where the airplanes fly up in the atmosphere. So a very tall thunderstorm is where you see those severe thunderstorms that provide the large hail. And again, the higher the thunderstorm, the more severe it is in general, and the bigger the hail that you see. So today's trivia question is, which means that you should take immediate action? An advisory, a watch, or a warning? Again, immediate action means it's happening. It's either radar indicated or the winds are 58 miles an hour for a severe thunderstorm. What means that you need to take immediate action? And the answer is a warning. With the severe thunderstorm warning, it means that a severe thunderstorm is happening and you need to take action now. During severe thunderstorms, what should you do? You need to have, we talked about, you need to go to that area where you are safe. Again, during a watch, you need to plan that ahead because it means it may happen. On Wednesday, we do have a level 1 threat of severe weather. So on a scale of 1 to 5, it's a 1. As of now, strong damaging winds, hail, very heavy rain possible, possible tornado as well possible on Wednesday, but it is a low threat. I'm not expecting the amount of severe weather that we saw with that other system that we had on a Sunday, which was about a week and a half ago. But this one could bring us heavy downpours and severe thunderstorms. Again, severe thunderstorm, 58-mile-an-hour winds or higher, and hail as big as an inch or higher. So I'm going to look on here because, again, we talk about severe weather all the time, but we don't go into specifics as to what makes it severe. So now you know if it has a severe warning, if we're telling you on the air that it is severe, 58-mile-an-hour winds or stronger, 1-inch hail or stronger. Everyone got it. Warning, warning, warning. Awesome. You guys got it right. Everyone got it right. So that's what we're talking about today. Again, Wednesday, we have that threat of severe weather. So we are going to be talking about that. Make sure you join us starting at 4 o'clock. I'm going to be outlining the threat for Wednesday. But what you can do now, 2 days ahead of time, make that plan. Have that plan. Know where you're going to go. And especially now, things are a little more difficult because of social distancing. And normally we have several storm shelters opening. Find out if that storm shelter you usually go to is open if you need it. So plan ahead. And that's really the best thing you can do as we are in severe weather season and as that threat of severe weather approaches. Tomorrow's lesson is going to be on winds. And this is actually appropriate because yesterday the winds were crazy. We had a wind advisory in place. We had 30 plus mile an hour wind gusts. So yesterday was very windy. So we're going to talk about what is happening in the atmosphere that creates winds. Why do winds happen? What makes winds happen? So make sure you join us at 1:15 to learn about winds and why winds happen for tomorrow's World of Weather. Everyone, watch us starting at 4 o'clock. We're going to talk about the rest of the week. Also a big warm up on the way. Thank you for joining us for today's World of Weather. I'll see you at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then I'll see you tomorrow at 1:15 for our next World of Weather lesson. Everyone be safe and have a great day.